Today on the show, we have a very amazing personality. His name is Ram, but also his handle is Samaka. Ram is a radio presenter. He runs his own podcast and also a vacation warrior and a great traveler. And he's traveled to more than 40 countries. Welcome, Ram. Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much.
What's your number one rule when you visit a country?
Don't eat at McDonald's. I've had my GoPro stolen inside a train in Italy once while heading to Rome.
Really? You don't get to see that side of the person, but when you travel with that person, you get to see a very different side of the person.
You bring that person to an unfamiliar place, there's a different side that will come out, definitely. Some people say you only have one life. If you travel, every travel you do, you get to be a different person, and I think that's beautiful and amazing.
Welcome to License to Explore. This is your host, Rohit. This is the show where we uncover the world's most amazing people.
This is your podcast, but I dominate it because I'm here.
Dubai is very safe.
No.
City of safety.
I was crying my eyes out in the toilet. If I eat noodles tonight, I will not be able to make it to the office tomorrow.
How would you define yourself as a traveler?
Great question.
Every travel you do, you get to be a different person.
Welcome to License to Explore, where we uncover travel journeys and stories of our amazing guests. I'm your host, Rohit. And today on the show, we have a very amazing personality. His name is Ram, but also his handle is Samaka. You know what Samaka is. So join me in welcoming Ram. Ram is a radio presenter. He runs his own podcast and also a vacation warrior and a great traveler. And he's traveled to more than 40 countries. Welcome, Ram. Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much. What a pleasure. What a pleasure to be in this episode for today. I'm very excited for our conversation this episode.
Awesome. It's great to have you in the studio today, Ram. And Ram, you wear so many hats. You are a radio presenter. You have your own podcast show. You're also a stand-up comedian, and you wear so many hats.
Yeah, I do a lot of things mainly as an effect of I blame it on midlife crisis actually.
Really?
No, but I'm a full-time marketing manager for a company that distributes production equipment for media and broadcast. I also am a radio presenter for the past 4 years. There's a Filipino radio station here in the UAE, and I have a weekend show there. I also do stand-up comedy. I just started this year, so I'm learning that, just trying to get my skills up in that part of my life. And I'm also a traveler. I have a wife with 2 dogs. I am a lot of things now. It's quite confusing, but just call me Ram for today for this episode.
Great.
Yes.
Awesome. So, Ram, before we actually dig into your journey or open up your travel mission files, what I want to understand is, where did this travel bug actually start? When did you become fond of traveling, or how did this happen to you?
I think it's just born out of being naturally curious. When you're curious about life, you're curious about other people, you're curious about other persons. There's this desire for you to explore. And one of the biggest ways to explore is to really immerse yourself in different places. And that's traveling for me. That's what I do. That's what I seek out when I travel. I'm not one of those luxurious guys. What I really want is to get to know the culture of a people or of a place that I'm visiting. Dubai really does a lot to you in terms of like triggering you to wanting to travel. You meet a lot of people from different places. And since Dubai also is a hub and it's quite easy to go in and out, I think it became natural for us for me and my wife especially, to just go out and travel every now and then. Yeah.
Awesome. So Ram is exploring and we are on License to Explore. So that's kind of the perfect show for you to be on and share your explorations with our audience who's listening to you and watching you today. So Ram, every traveler has a persona, right? So you mentioned about luxury travel. Some people like to travel on the luxury. Some people are backpackers. Some people are budget travelers, and there's different kind of travel personality. So, what is your travel personality if you have to describe that for us?
I think I now in my age, I've been to more than 40 countries, 42 to be exact. And what I feel I'm transitioning into is to be that outdoor guy. You know, I like to be on nature. I'm a nature kind of guy, and so we don't seek out high-end travel. We don't seek out luxurious travel. So I think I sit between backpacking and budget traveling. That's where I land.
Okay, so your persona is mostly something in between backpacking and budget traveling. So, I think that's a good way because there's this misconception that travel is only for rich people, but
Probably 100 years ago, because back then you have to board the ship, and by the time you reach your destination, you're different people. Now. Like, there are new kids there. You know, there are new people. People die along the way. People have this perception that you need to have a lot of money to travel. That's not necessarily the case anymore. I mean, you
right.
still have to have a bit of dough, if you know what I'm saying. But
Yes, yes.
but it's not as expensive as it used to be. Yeah.
Awesome. So, I mean, this is an icebreaker. We always ask our guest if I handed you an envelope today,
Uh-huh.
no questions asked, and that contains a first class ticket, where would you fly and why?
I'd fly to Antarctica.
Antarctica.
Yeah, in Antarctica, because
Wow.
yeah, and until last year, the only continent that we haven't visited was South America and Antarctica. But we were able to go to Peru last year. That's our first South American country, and the only continent that I have yet to set foot upon is Antarctica. So yeah,
That's something amazing because I think it's common for both of us. I've also been to all the continents except Antarctica.
right.
So it's kind of in my, what do you call it, bucket list, wish list, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, but have you figured out what's the best way to go there, or where do you land, or which is the airport, or have you done some research on this already?
No, not really. But now that is expensive, because what I think you could do is you could go on a cruise
Yeah, I
to
heard about this.
Antarctica, and we were checking out the prices, and we've met a couple of people in Peru who've done the trip. So it cost them anywhere between 20,000 to 40,000 US dollars. Now, mind
Wow,
you, that's really expensive,
yeah, it is. That is.
That's why if you give me an opportunity right now to go any place on a first class ticket, forget first class ticket, give me a budget ticket, take me to Antarctica, that's where I'm
But
going.
which is the airline that actually flies there directly? There's no such flight, right?
There is. I think it's from. I'm not familiar with the country. I saw it yesterday. I just saw it on a reel, and it flies directly there. But I heard it's pretty expensive. Yeah.
Wow. So there's something we need to do some research on where to fly, how to get there, and
Yeah.
what's the best route.
Yeah, exactly. And if anyone is listening right now who'd want to sponsor me to Antarctica, I'll do anything for you.
All right, so let's open your travel files. Let's dig in. You've been to more than 42 countries. You've pretty much been to Peru, you mentioned. You've been to Japan. You've been to Kyrgyzstan. You've been
Oh
to
yeah.
so many countries,
Yes.
right? So, what was the first country that made you fall in love with traveling?
Oh, wow, that's a good question. I think I think Georgia.
Georgia?
Yeah, Georgia's amazing in terms of there. I didn't expect that I would love Georgia the way I love it when I visited. There's a place there called Omalo. It's a region where you can only visit 4 months in a year. For
Okay.
the remaining 8 months, it's covered in snow. It's winter time. And even the villagers, there's, I think, 22 villages there. They go down, they head down because it's too cold, except for a few villagers who guard the houses and all. And then seeing that experience and being part of that, it's like, okay, when you travel, it's like you're living a different life. So when you immerse yourself with the culture and the people and the place, it's like you get to try these different personas, different lives, and that's just so exciting. Some people say you only have one life. If you travel,
Cool.
every travel you do, you get to be a different person, and I think that's beautiful and amazing.
That's amazing. Yeah, YOLO, you only live once. So, every travel teaches you a new experience, even if it's the same place you're going to. But you said that Georgia was the trigger, or, the place which actually made you fall in love with traveling. And you mentioned that it's only 4 months that this part of Georgia is open, right?
Yes, yes,
Because rest
yes.
of the year is snow capped and it's
Yeah.
sort of a no fly zone.
Yeah, and you have to ride a 4x4 van on one of the most dangerous passes. Every year, the roads change because of avalanches and rain and floods and
Wow.
so on. And I have a drone shot of that where you pass through. So cliff, and it's one lane, and it's the car, and it's the wall of the mountain, and yeah, it's exciting.
That's amazing. That's amazing. So, which country surprised you the most in your travels?
Um, a lot of a lot of places I go to surprise me, but I think one stand out that I have is Egypt. You
Uh-huh.
know, because I went there the first time. So I'm also a diver. I'm a scuba diver, and I went on this liveaboard for 7 days in the Red Sea, and I stopped for one day in Egypt. And I felt I didn't have a great experience. I felt like people were just trying to shiv money off of me. And so I have this perception of Egypt that wasn't good, for tourists. But then when I went there last year and I was really able to open myself up to people, I realized how warm Egyptian people really are. And that surprised me the most, given my previous experience and what I've heard from the place. But when I was there, oof, it was so lovely.
Wow. I've been to Egypt, Cairo mostly, and looked at the pyramids and
Yes, yes.
it's
Giza,
it's
right?
Giza,
Yeah,
pyramids of Giza, and the Nile water and the Nile cruise.
of
I was
course.
usually going there for work, so
Oh,
whenever I had some time off, I could manage to explore the place. But it was mostly business trips to Cairo, and once I had the chance to go to Urgada. I don't know if you've been there.
oh yeah, I heard about
Yeah,
Hurghada.
it's a
Yes.
beautiful place, but
Yeah.
again, that was work, so it was barely any time.
You go to Hurghada for work? Isn't
Yeah,
that
we
a
had a
coastal
conference.
resort?
We had a conference for one of the hotel chains. So they had gathered all their team over there, and we were presenting on some of the technology that we work with. So it's funny. It's weird that people go to Urgada for work.
Yeah.
It happened to me though.
But do you love it when you go?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's like when you're on work trips, there's limited
Ah,
things you
of
can do as
course.
far as travel related experience and exposures are concerned. But you still learn. You still get to meet people. You still
Yeah.
get to explore the culture, and you still get to enjoy the culinary delights.
Yes, yes, of course.
Awesome. So tell me about Japan. I've never been to Japan, but I know Japan is an amazing place. And what do you think is one thing that Japan has that should exist everywhere else as well?
At the top of my mind, to be honest with you, and this is something that's just in my head right now. Um, Train food. They have amazing food on the trains. When you go on these bullet trains to travel from one city to another, you pass through their stores and buy all these different kinds of dishes that you bring with you over the plate. All of them top notch. Some Michelin restaurants would be put to shame by some of these delicious food that you could get from the train. Normally, if you think you're traveling by train, you don't get quality food, but in Japan, the food is top notch. I remember buying this like a plate that heated itself up just by pulling a string. The plate started smoking and steaming and
Wow.
cooking itself inside. So that's the top of my mind. But also for Japan, the sense of tradition and the people who are very good at their craft and who spend their lives perfecting one craft. I think that's also something that is noteworthy.
Awesome. Never been to Japan, but when you mentioned train food, it reminded me of when I was in Europe on a trip and I was traveling from Paris to another country in Europe, and it was to Amsterdam.
Oh, yeah.
And I tried the food on the train, and it was a simple ham and cheese toasty, but it tasted amazing.
Right,
It was
right.
brilliant. Like there's a cart on the train, which is like the canteen cart, like a pantry cart,
Yeah.
where you go and you can order your food. Either you can sit and eat there, or bring it back to your coach and eat over there. But train food, yeah, can be surprising at times. Like of course India, there's a lot of train food, but it's kind of like, for me the memory is a bit vague because I haven't been on a train in India for many years
Oh, okay. All
now.
right.
But back in the days, yes, I remember there used to be some decent food. Like every part you go in India, every station has a different speciality in terms of the food they offer when it comes to train food.
Well, Indian cuisine, by the way, one of my favorite
Really, you like
cuisines in
Indian
the
cuisine?
yeah, yeah,
So
I
what's your
very like
favorite
so.
Indian dish?
Um, I like anything that's mutton.
Okay,
Yeah.
you're a fan of
Yeah,
lamb, yeah?
I'm a fan of mutton. Fan of mutton biryani, and then there's this Hyderabadi.
Halim.
I'm still on the lookout for the best biryani, mutton biryani here in the UAE. So I'll be asking for
So
your
that's a task.
recommendations.
It's a journey. The problem with Dubai is that there are hundreds of biryani houses here,
Yes.
and
Yes.
there are all kinds of biryanis here, right? From Arabic to Hyderabadi to Mughlai to
Yeah.
Pakistani
Yeah.
to the South Indian flavor from Chennai, from the Chettinad region. So there is so much here. There's now biryani from Kolkata as well.
Right. Yeah.
There are restaurants that serve that. So it's a battle to really pick which is the best biryani, and I think no one can really win because the nuances are there. Like every biryani has its own speciality,
Yeah. Yeah.
and the huge variety in biryanis, it's insane.
Yeah, and I think
It's totally insane.
if you ask a person, there will always be one place for them. Everyone has their most
Yeah,
loved
their favorite
place. Yeah,
biryani
yeah,
house.
yeah. So not really a
So in fact, I
consensus.
have this thought on my content creation site to start a series called Biryani on My Plate, where every week I will go to a restaurant, a
Yeah,
different biryani house, and try the biryani and talk about it. So
yeah.
maybe one week it's a Pakistani biryani, next week it's a Kerala style biryani, next week it's from Chennai, another week it's from Calcutta, then it's from
I would watch that.
Hyderabad. and,
I would watch that.
and it'll just be like a 1 minute short video,
Yeah, yeah, like
just
a reel,
going
right?
there, or yeah, like a reel or a YouTube short where you just go there and you explore the menu, but you
Yeah,
order just one of their main biryanis, you try the biryani and you talk about it. That's kind of the idea.
yeah, yeah. I like that biryani on my plate. Oh,
Yeah,
cool.
that's kind of my vision on this particular thing. So tell me, you traveled to 42 countries, and I've also been to similar amount of countries. So which country, according to you, has the best hospitality?
Best hospitality. Interesting. I think everybody has this level of welcoming. But I recently went to Nepal, and I'm a victim of recency bias, and I feel very welcomed in Nepal because everybody thinks I'm Nepali.
Yeah, you have that look.
Yeah. So I go there every time. They ask my guide, "Are you guys brothers, or is he from the city, or something like that?" But everybody's so welcoming, and everybody's kind, and everybody's friendly. I don't know if it's just because of my face, but I think
No, in general, Nepali people are very humble.
they are.
They're very friendly. Of course, there's a lot of nature there which you have explored now, and I think you did your hike to the peak. Yeah,
Not the peak, the base camp
the
only.
base camp.
Only the base camp.
Only the
Yes.
base camp.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you went to the base camp.
I
How
did.
was
I
the
did.
experience?
Oh man. It was amazing. So the Everest base camp trek normally takes 12 days. So 8 days of hike going to the base camp, and then another 3 days coming down. The experience is quite extraordinary. For one, from Kathmandu, you're gonna take a plane to go to the what they call the most dangerous airport in the world. The name of the airport is Lukla Airport, and that's where your adventure begins, by trekking. But riding the plane by itself is adventure enough because it's a 16-seater plane, very small. Um, and you have to go through the mountains. You see the mountains. You're in between different mountains, and that you're lower than the peaks of these mountains. The plane is traveling lower, and the pilot needs to have visibility. So if there's any weather disturbance, any smoke, any smog or fog or whatever, or rain, flights get canceled all the time. It's one of the most dangerous airports in the world because the runway is short, and it's a cliff, by the mountains. You're, I think, 2,000 meters above sea level, and then there's a wall on the cliffside. So if you land like a bit farther than the edge of the runway, you might end up not breaking enough and hitting the wall. Or if you plan to take off and you don't speed up the right way, then you might end up falling in the cliff. So
Wow,
yeah, so it's just I mean, the
it's very
pilots are
dangerous.
really good, but just the thought of that
Yeah,
for a foreigner to go there and experience that is amazing. Yeah.
right, right. So I mean, it's a very dangerous airport. is supposed to be one of the world's most dangerous airport, right?
It is. It is. And then from 2,000 meters above sea level, you try to climb up. Everest Base Camp is located 5,300 meters above sea level. And so through the 8 days of of trekking that you do, you need to acclimatize your body, make sure
Yes.
that your body is used to the thinning oxygen, to the weather. You know, I was sleeping at minus 15 at some point, minus 15
Wow.
degrees Celsius. So it was really cold. It's gonna test you as well. Your body's gonna get tested. That's why I had to do some training just to make sure that I enjoy the experience.
Right. So, I mean, you spoke about going to one of the world's dangerous airport, which is in Nepal, of course. Tell me, based on your travel experience, has there been an incident or something you faced where you really felt unsafe while traveling?
Yes, I've had my GoPro stolen inside a train in Italy once while heading to Rome.
Really? Wow.
Yes, yes. I was stupid. I hanged it. I hanged it, and then I slept a little bit, and then when I woke up, there was this guy walking past us. I didn't realize that he took the camera, and when we woke up, the camera was gone. So
It's insane.
that's unsafe.
How
Plus, there's a place in Rome that feels very like the alleyway is pretty dark, and then you see lots of characters walking around. You know, we were safe. Nothing. We weren't accosted by anybody, but you just feel like a bit guarded while you're
Mm,
there. Yeah.
mm. Wow, that's crazy. I never expected that you would face an incident like this in Rome and Italy. Of
Yeah.
all the places,
Yeah.
we would think that it's safe and you can leave your belongings. Like in Dubai, you leave your GoPro anywhere, no one will dare touch it, right?
Exactly. And you just have to remember to leave that like hat when you fly out
Yeah,
because
that's the problem. Living in
yeah,
Dubai, you become too comfortable,
become
and then you do those same things that you do in Dubai, but it might not work in the other countries.
exactly, and then you end up suffering. Yeah.
So tell me now, when you travel, you create a lot of content as a content creator. So when you're filming in during your travels, do you get judged for filming,
Do I get judged for it? I
especially in other countries?
Yeah, I don't notice it anymore. But I'll tell you why and how I got into content creator creation for whenever I travel. I'm a fan of Rick Steves back in the day. Rick Steves is an American traveler, but he is not your typical American tourist. Like he believes in immersing yourself in the culture and so on. And what he said stuck to me and why I realized I love travel so much. See, for example, you try something amazing for the first time. Let's say there's a new version of ice cream that came out, right? And then you try it for the first time, your synapses, your brain will produce a lot of these good chemicals like dopamine, serotonin, oxytocin that makes you feel good because it's the first time that you're tasting
Mm.
this beautiful ice cream. And then what you want is to share it to other people. Now, when you travel, every experience is a new experience. So what you're getting is hit after hit after hit of this natural high of these good chemicals being produced by your brain.
Mm.
And the next thing that you want to do is to share it. So I was documenting videos so I could share them to my mom, to my sister, to my family, until eventually I decided, hey, why can't I create for a lot more people? So I started being a bit more purposeful in the content that I create,
Mm.
and then that's how I got into more and more into creating content when traveling.
Right. So I realize that you are the vacation warrior, or so to say. But now, when you travel, usually, mostly you don't travel alone, from what I know about you, right?
Yeah.
You always end up traveling with either your wife or your kids or the family together, or maybe colleagues or
Yeah.
workmates. I don't know. But I wanted to pick your mind on this one perspective, that when you travel with people around you, like in a group, how does that affect the whole trip? Does it make your trip better, or kind of it creates some challenges, or it breaks your trip? What really happens when you travel with other people?
You have to travel with like-minded people. You know,
Hmm.
you have to travel with people who are looking for the same experiences, going through the same places. Because if not, even just the time of waking up, it's gonna ruin your day, and I feel that when you travel as a group, as a large group, there are people who want to do certain things, other people who do not like to eat certain food, other people who are not comfortable doing some things, and I'm okay with group travel. I travel with my wife. I don't have kids, but I do travel with some of my friends as well. And we make sure that we understand the itinerary beforehand so that there will be no surprises. When I travel, I have amazing energy. I wake up at 5, I sleep at 3. So I gotta make sure that the people that I'm with will understand that. So you just have to communicate in advance before you even travel.
Nice. That's amazing. Yeah, because group travel, or if you're not traveling with people who are not like-minded, you can face these challenges, and it's
Yeah.
kind of gonna spoil your
But
experience.
what's your thought about it? Well, I want to know your
No, for
idea.
me as well. Like I have been on many trips with my boys, with my buddies, with my friends, and like it happens. Like sometimes people don't wake up at the time that they need to wake up. Sometimes you want to do something, they want to do something else. Then you need to go with a unanimous scenario,
Yeah,
or
yeah,
you are forced to do things which you really don't want to do. But that's kind of the nuances of a group travel,
yeah,
right? So it's very important to travel with like-minded people.
yeah.
And when you would travel with someone, you really get to know that person's other side,
Yes,
or the side you have not seen. Because when you
yes.
live in Dubai and you meet, let's say for dinner or lunch or for outings or
Right.
for night outs or whatever, you don't get to see that side of the person. But when you travel with that person, you get to see a very different side of the person,
Yeah, you
right?
get
So
you bring that person to an unfamiliar place. There's a different side that will come out definitely.
absolutely, absolutely. And it's good and bad, but I feel that when you travel with someone, you get to learn a lot more about that person.
Correct.
You
Yeah,
get to explore the persona of the person that you have not tapped or you're not familiar with.
yeah.
Awesome. So let's talk about the purpose behind travel, right? For everyone, there's a different purpose. So do you feel like travel is your escape from the real world, from actual life, to live another life or to live an alternative life, or what's your take on that?
I've thought about this recently because a friend of mine asked me, so what do you accomplish? For example, when I went to Everest Base Camp, so what did you accomplish by going there? It's tiring. It's not overall, the experience is not that perfect, not 5-star accommodation and all. And I said, I'm trying to make the 14-year-old version of me that lives in my heart proud of me, and that's why I do and get into all of these adventures. I really want that 14-year-old to say, oh, I am a pretty cool adult because I get to experience all of these different things. Yeah,
So did you try the Mario Kart in Japan when you went there?
I did. I actually did in the busiest street, the Shinjuku. What was that? The busiest intersection in Tokyo.
Okay.
So in one stoplight, like 2,000 people cross. That's the
Wow.
place. Yeah.
That's crazy.
So I did that. I did the and
How,
when you
how was the
drive,
experience?
it was fun because you're driving on a real highway, and you're wearing these funny costumes and you're driving this go-kart and everybody thinks that you're a celebrity and you act like you're a celebrity. You're waving to everyone who waves back. So that was fun. Yeah.
Awesome. That's really something that everyone should do.
Yeah.
Here it's a little expensive though, yeah.
You also need, I think, an international
Yeah,
license.
you
Yeah.
need
Yeah, to be able to drive on the road
international
there.
driver
Yeah.
license. Cool. So tell me, what's your number one rule when you visit a country?
Um don't eat at McDonald's.
That's funny. Why would I mean you never try to eat McDonald's whenever you
I
travel?
think I've been to 42 countries. I think I only ate at a McDonald's once, or fast food, international fast food once or twice
Wow.
in my whole trips. Because why would I go to a country and experience the same things that I will experience, on a day to day, routine, So fast food, I hate absolutely. I only did it, by the way, I remember I ate fast food in Switzerland because the prices of food are so expensive. So at some point, okay, let's bite the bullet, let's eat.
But let me give you a different perspective to this. I understand what you're saying completely. And when you travel to places like that, you must definitely explore the local cuisine and the culture and enjoy the local food. But if you're there for a longer period, you probably have to mix and match your meals, whatever you're going for. But one thing I realized actually, on on a flip side, I have tried McDonald's in different countries.
Yeah.
Okay. And I realized that the menus are different everywhere.
Yes, yeah,
The
that too.
taste is different everywhere. And like, especially if you're into having, like, if you go to India, for example, in India, McDonald's does not serve any beef.
Oh, of course. Okay. Yeah, yeah.
One of the only countries where there are no beef burgers in the menu. It's chicken and it's veg burgers. But on the contrary, in the US, obviously beef is the
Yeah.
main burger going, the Big Mac and all that. Here, of course, it's different. But if you try it in Europe, like in Switzerland or in Germany, the menus are different and the burgers are really amazing.
Right. That's true.
And also, like in Australia or any other part of the world that you've been to. So it's not that I want to explore McDonald's where I go, but it's happened
Right. No, that's true.
invariably.
That's true. Like in the Philippines, we have chicken and rice in McDonald's, and we
Right.
have spaghetti in McDonald's. Um, I understand. And sometimes also you try to crave for something familiar, like you said, if you're going to a country for
Yeah,
quite a long time. It's just that for me, I prefer experiencing local cuisine.
fair enough.
I like street food.
Awesome.
And I like trying out, their local versions of
Mm.
different food. Yeah, but I see your point. Yeah.
No, yeah, that's true. Like here in McDonald's, they have Mac Arabia, which is kind of the
Mm-hmm,
unique dish
mm-hmm.
that they bring to the table. Right. So let's talk about some travel tips and tricks and hacks. Right. So can you tell me a travel hack that you feel that most people don't know about, like a travel hack that you use in your day-to-day life or traveling whenever you travel?
Right.
You have some hack which you feel that people don't know about.
Well, not that people don't know about, but maybe people don't take advantage enough. The free lounge access that you get
Hmm.
from different parts of the world. In I think in UAE, it's easy to get these benefits
Yeah,
with a bank or with a credit card that you
of course,
get.
like Lounge Key and Priority Pass.
Exactly, and
These are some of the
travel pass. Yes.
lounge programs
Yeah.
which most of the credit cards will throw in, like with your Mashreq Bank or with your Emirates NBD, you will have some sort of way
Yes.
to access, or with MasterCard or with Visa
Mastercard,
card. Yeah.
yes. And then you get to experience, to get to relax in a different countries, have access to the lounge,
Especially
and
if you go early to the airport, and it becomes very beneficial. You
exactly.
can enjoy the lounge. All
Sure.
right. So let's talk about, how you book your flights, or do you have any tips or tricks to book flights in a cheaper way or in a better way?
I think you'd be able to. I saw one of your clips. I think you've said something along that line. But for me, um, the secret is just to book as early as possible. That's
Yeah,
that's
that's very important.
That's very important. And stop thinking about it and visiting the site every day, like every other day.
They're watching you.
Yeah, they're watching you. They're really watching you. They'll
Yeah,
raise the prices,
absolutely.
And so when you decide to buy, do it as early as possible and decide as soon as you can, as quick as you can. Don't dawdle.
Yeah, absolutely. You're right. Because if you keep visiting and revisiting, and the fares are not going to drop down, they're going to only
Yeah,
go up,
they only go
because the
up.
cookies and the trackers that the different websites throw in, they
Yeah.
know that this guy wants to go and he's definitely going to go. And so that's why the incognito mode is a nice way to, you know,
That's true. To
avoid this kind of situation. But you're right, book early, because last minute fares can be crazy, and
Mhm.
you might end up paying much more than what you need to pay,
Yep.
what you're supposed to pay. What about hotels? Any
So
scenarios for hotel bookings?
So when we do hotel bookings, we do a mix.
Mm.
Depending on the budget, we try to go through Airbnb, Booking.com, or even hotels. Hotels, honestly, are my last option. I
Mm.
really want, if you go for Airbnbs and these apartments, you get a bigger space. You get to
Yeah.
be in a neighborhood that's very local or even very close to the center without being too expensive. So hotels, plus, to be honest with you, if you go through these international hotels, what you're getting is an experience that's consistent. That's the benefit of going through these
Yeah.
hotels. But what it takes you out of is the experience of what the local experience feels like. And so you get to be this vanilla experience that's quite expected when you go through a standard international hotel. But when you go through the apartments and the small like boutique hotels, if you may, and then you'll find something that an experience that's quite different to what you're used to.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think, see, there is no one size fit all, right? For different people, it's different. For different types of trips,
Yeah.
it's a different situation. For different destinations, it would change and vary because, like, maybe you're going to a certain destinations where it makes more sense to use Airbnbs or use hostels or use
Right.
budget accommodations or whatever you want to, or book apartments through other similar options like Airbnb. But in some cities, it probably makes sense to stay in a hotel. It's actually very subjective.
Yeah.
It's very, very dependent on where you're going and what's your objective and what are you trying to achieve. But the most important thing I feel, whether you go for Airbnb or you go for a hotel, you should always try to pick a location that makes sense.
Yeah.
That cut down your travel time based
Correct.
on your purpose of your trip, the experiences you want to explore. So I think that makes a big difference in that choice.
Yeah, and make sure you go for good reviews. I mean,
Absolutely.
people will say, okay, you'll just sleep in it, but you need the good sleep too. So
Absolutely.
you
You need
you
a comfortable bed and you need a nice bedding and
good
check
service
the
too.
reviews.
Yeah,
And
reviews are very important.
right. What about packing? Do you have any tricks or tips that you have to share, like how you pack for your flights?
Yeah, I just tend to be very organized with packing my stuff.
Hmm.
Like I have these compartments, these I don't know what you call them, travel compartments where I put all my shirts in one zip bag and then I put all my pants in one zip
You call
bag.
them packing cubes.
Packing cubes, exactly. Yeah, I am a fan of packing cubes.
Awesome. I
For as
use them
long
a
as
lot too.
remember.
It helps
Yeah,
you stay organized.
yeah,
You can grab what you need when you need rather than like looking all over your bag and messing it up. Yeah,
exactly. And it makes movement faster because you know where everything is, and
yeah,
when you're ready to go, you just pack these cubes up together, and you're off. Yeah,
absolutely. Packing cubes is a good hack, and there are also compression bags you can use to
yeah.
sort of
I haven't
reduce the
tried that,
bulk.
but you need the vacuum kind of, right?
Yes, you do at times, but
Right.
not every time. But there are like other kits you get where you have like a nozzle to
To
compress it
I
and
see, I
things like
see.
that. But yeah, that's a good way to pack.
Mm.
All right, let's talk about a little bit about your life here in general and your other side. You also are a podcaster,
Yes,
and you have the Pinoy expats as your podcast show. You want
yes,
to
I
tell us a
do.
little bit about that?
Yeah. So I started this because um, I would like to speaking to other Filipinos who have achieved a certain degree of success in their professional or business life inspire me. And when I do that, it inspires me to do something. It motivates me to move. It motivates me to, act different, act faster, act better. And I thought that what if I could inspire other Filipinos to feel the same way if I document these conversations that I'm having with successful Filipino expats. So it's called Next Level Pinoy Expats. Pinoy is a slang term for
Yes.
Filipino. So next level means we're speaking to people who are relatively, at a different level, like performing at a high level, whether they're well known in their field professionally, they have a business here, they're quite considered successful here in the UAE. And we talk about the role that the UAE has played in their success. We talk about their humble beginnings, what pushed them to get from one level to the next. And I think it makes for some very interesting conversation because you never know, who is having the same humbling experience when they're starting off in the UAE. And then when you see this person succeed having the same experience that you had, kind of like gives you a good feeling that you could also have a good chance of making it.
Right. So, um, since you spoke about next level and successful Filipinos in Dubai and sharing their journey and talking to them on your podcast, so what do you think is the biggest misconception about Filipino people in UAE?
Um, well, what are the misconceptions? What are we known here for? We're not just we're we're everywhere. There's a perception that we're just nurses and probably to a certain degree domestic help. And they're very important in the community. I'm not disputing that, but there are more of us here, and across all fields. So that's, I think, one misconception. The rest are true, though. All of us are amazing singers. All of us are great
So I
singers.
was almost thinking that now you're gonna take this mic and sing a
Yeah, I'm
song
gonna
for
sing
in
a karaoke.
karaoke. Suddenly the podcast becomes a karaoke.
Yeah, karaoke session. Yeah, we're good, and we have a very pleasing disposition. Like we're known for just smiling a lot through life, and I think that's a gift that we
I
have.
guess you guys are very friendly people,
We are.
very
Yeah.
down to earth,
Yeah.
very humble, and you like to talk to and help anybody, support anybody. I think there are a lot of technicians who are Filipinos,
Yes.
like engineers and IT guys, technical
Correct.
guys, tech support guys. I've come across a lot,
Yeah.
and even in the construction industry, there's a lot of high end engineering
Right.
people who
Yeah.
are Filipinos. So there is a lot of talent, I think, in every field, in every facet. So there's no stereotype like Filipinos are nurses or Filipinos are, waiting staff and
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
domestic help. But
Yeah.
you guys are in so many different fields and
Yes. We're everywhere. Yeah.
so many. So now I want to connect this to your story as a creator. Okay. So as a creator, like for Filipino creators, what's the nuances for them, or for content creation for Filipinos, what's your take on it, or what kind of advice, or what do you like to say about that?
What Filipinos generally, first of all, there's a lot of us,
Mm,
120
yeah.
million, and we consume a lot of social media. I think we're number one in terms of social media consumption, and
Mhm.
therefore there are a lot of Filipino content creators here.
Mm.
But what I would like to say is that, people worry about, and not just Filipinos, they're worried about the numbers. They're worried about getting viral all the time. They're worried about, getting a high number of followers. I'm of a different mindset because I do it for passion, for fun. I do
Mm.
it to share stuff. And I think that kind of removes the pressure a little bit if you do it from that perspective
Right.
instead of trying to turn everything into business every time.
Yeah. So let's talk about not Filipinos, but in general,
Mm-hmm.
as a creator, as a content creator, especially people who have like a full time job, right? How do they what are the biggest struggles for people with a full time job and also creating content, the balance factor?
Yeah, the balance, the time. You are juggling a lot of responsibilities for yourself. You have to live. You have a responsibility to the company that you work for. Um, and also headspace. There's a lot of things that are happening around you that may not show up on your CV. So what I would say is that be kind to yourself. Don't pressure yourself too much if you're creating content for the heck of it. And just make sure you have enough headspace for you to do it. It should be a pleasurable activity.
Yeah.
This, for example, this one, I'm taking so much pleasure out of it. I don't feel stressed out. I'm having a nice conversation, sharing my experiences. And I think that's how it should be. It should be just you sharing your life to the world. Yeah.
You spoke about virality and you spoke about a large part of the community being bothered about how many followers we have, how many
Mm.
likes we have. So, do you want to share from your perspective any formula to design viral videos or how to go viral?
Um, you can follow the trends. You can be controversial. You can speak about the topic in a controversial manner, and just be blunt with, try to offend some people, um, if that's what you want. But for me, just consistent storytelling will lead to, at some point you'll be very good and people will relate and you will achieve virality. Yeah.
Right, right. So living in UAE, it really is, kind of a blessing for all of us, and
Oh,
it has given
yes.
us a lot of things, right? So, what is one thing in the UAE that is not in any other country that you have been to or you have come across? Is there one thing you can pinpoint?
Yeah. Leaders. I am so in awe and immensely grateful of the leaders of the UAE. making it easier for not only for their people but for us. I've been here for 17 years, and to be able to create a country that is this safe, that is where hundreds of people from hundreds of nationalities can live together side by side with no tension, no conflict, no whatever. That's a blessing that people sometimes take for granted here. The one of the main reasons that made me stay in the UAE is because of that. Is because of how safe and convenient everything is. And people say stuff about the UAE, of course, but I think that because it starts from the top, and I think that's something that's very hard to replicate, and that's not you can't see it in other countries as easily as you thought it would be.
I'm absolutely, I am in 100% saying I've been here as well for like 23 years now
Yeah.
in Dubai and UAE, and I feel the leadership is, unparalleled.
Yeah.
The vision that the leadership has and what it has made Dubai today, or in general UAE today, from what it used to be.
Yeah.
We are the safest country in the world, one of the safest country. Of course, there are others in the region as well. But safety wise, a woman can walk at 4 a.m. in the morning and she has no stress. But in a lot of other places, you can't do that. It's
Yeah.
like after 10 p.m., it's very unsafe for women to go out. But UAE offers a lot. It's a melting pot, like you mentioned, with more than 200 nationalities here from all over the world living in harmony
Yeah.
and celebrating together, joining each other in festivities or working in the same environment, in the same working place. It's truly amazing what UAE is, and there's a lot of things that you don't find in any other country
Yeah.
that UAE brings to the table, which is kind of truly a blessing for all of us,
Yes.
the expat community that are here, not just Pinoy expats, but all the 200 different expats, the 200
Exactly.
different
Yeah.
nationality expats that live here. So I think UAE also is a land of opportunity.
Yeah.
So it sort of helps you and builds a lot of ambition in you, right?
Yes. Yes.
So, but at the same time, of course, we all have our goals, we all have our vision. So, how do you actually balance between the ambition and apprehension that you would normally face, or also the appreciation for what UAE brings to the table? So, is there a way or you want to talk about balancing between the ambition and the apprehension?
Well, we are already at a huge advantage if you're living here in the UAE because you don't get a lot of the distractions that you get. Well, my experience is when living in the Philippines, for example. You don't have to worry about whether services will be closed or whether there will be a flood or whether the road that has been damaged for years has already been repaired. You don't have all of these distractions, allowing you to focus on um, on whatever field that you want to excel in, or on your work. And because of that as well, there are a lot of opportunities here, and you can be, as long as you show passion and courage, you'll be able to try different things. And find there's some apprehension on whether, as far as confidence and competence goes, but the opportunities are here, and you just have to grab it. And imagine I'm speaking to someone like you here.
Absolutely.
It's amazing.
Absolutely. So, I wanted to understand which part of Philippines do you actually come from?
I come from Manila.
Manila.
Yeah.
Okay.
Metro Manila. Yes.
Metro Manila.
Yeah, the bigger one.
The bigger one. Awesome. So we're going to do a quick rapid fire round with you.
Okay.
Okay. So we're going to ask you some questions. You need to choose one.
Sure.
So window seat or aisle seat?
Aisle.
Great. Luxury hotel or cozy boutique stay?
Boutique stay, definitely.
Adventure trip or relaxing getaway?
Adventure trip.
Solo travel or group travel?
Oh man. Solo.
Your wife and kids are watching.
No, I mean solo with my wife. My
No,
wife.
that won't be considered solo. Sunrise flight or red eye overnight flights?
Red eye.
Planned itinerary or spontaneous trips?
Planned itinerary.
Mountains or beaches?
Oh, mountains.
Of course.
For now.
Big city or off the grid escapes?
Great escapes.
Backpack or suitcase?
Backpack.
5-star restaurants or street food?
Street
I
food.
think I knew the answer already. Okay. Now, this is like, would you rather?
Okay.
Would you rather be stuck on an airport for 24 hours or lose your luggage for a week?
Stuck in the airport for 24 hours.
You prefer that, but you need your stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, I've experienced that. Not a good experience.
Only visit tropical beaches or snowy mountains for the rest of your life.
Ooh, good question. Well, for now, snowy mountains.
Okay. Travel for free, but never get to choose the destination, or always pay full price, but pick where you have to go.
Travel for free. I'm down for anything, you know? Bring me anywhere.
Okay. Never use a map again, or never speak the local language.
Oh, never use a map again.
Visit only places you have been to before, or never visit the same place again.
I think for moving forward, never visit the same places again.
All right. So this is like the one and only. Okay.
Right.
The one destination everyone should visit before they die. It's a tough one.
Yes. I would say Japan.
Japan, I think it's in my bucket list too.
Japan.
The one thing you always buy as a souvenir when you travel.
Ref magnet.
You buy it? Awesome. I buy sometimes the souvenir spoons.
Oh, the spoon. You do spoons.
Yeah, yeah.
I wanted the patches, the one you put in
Oh,
the
yeah,
bag.
that's cool.
Yeah.
The one thing you always forget to pack.
Oh, toiletries.
Oh, okay. You can get that one.
Toothpaste, soap.
Ram, you were absolutely amazing. You crushed the show. And can you tell our listeners where they can find you on social media?
Oh, yes. I'm on Instagram, samaka.tv. You could find some of my reels there. I'm also andisal.uae. That's my radio presenter name. And yeah, for my podcast, it's Next Level Pinoy Expats. And also check out MediaCast if you're looking for media equipment. That's it.
Awesome. It was great to have you on the show. It was lovely talking to you. And that's a
you.
wrap on today's episode. It was great fun talking to Ram, also Samaka, which has joined me. So follow him on social media and see what he's doing. And you can listen to or watch our podcast on your favorite podcast channels. And see you in the next video. Ciao. Today in the studio, we have a very unique guest for the first time and talk to a cabin crew from Emirates Airlines. And she recently launched her own business. She's born in Italy, living in Dubai now, jet setting everywhere. Let's welcome to the show Vanessa. Cabin crew being waiters in the sky. What's your take on that?
I was shocked because even friends of mine, when I told them I am Emirates cabin crew, they said, "Oh, you're just a waiter. So you're doing the same job that someone is doing at the restaurant, but 35,000 feet."
People call, rather, cabin crew refers to Emirates as Big Mama.
You all arrive there without knowing what to expect. I think I realized that every city has a sound. You keep comparing with the flight, and then midnight, most of the time, the price goes down.
Midnight, the flight price goes down. Wow.
Network and experience will give you the chances to reach your goals. It's not that you close yourself at home and you keep working like that. You will not go far.